Hi, everyone. We are live, and today is Thursday. And as you know, Thursday is interview day. Today is Thursday, March the 3rd. And of course, I have an awesome guest today. You've actually met my guest today. My guest is here for the second time. But before we do anything, let's do a little bit of housekeeping. If you're with us live, down below in the comment, would you do hashtag live, or if you're seeing us in the replay, hashtag replay, and do tell us where you're coming from, because we love to know we're so global these days. We love to know where everybody's from. As you know, I'm coming to you from Mexico. My guest is from the United States, but she happens to be in Mexico herself this time. And so the other thing that I want to mention is right above you will see StreamYard. Please give StreamYard permission for you to comment. We would love for you to comment as much as you want. But you have to get that StreamYard. You have to give permission to StreamYard to use your name. Otherwise, they will tag you as Facebook user, and we will never know who you are. And we do want to, go back and forth with your comments. And if you don't want to comment, you just want to react, then the choice is thumbs up or send us hearts. We love hearts, so send us a bunch of hearts. Okay. So the background, usually I go into the background with my guests. We met online, and I'm going to say it again. We meet the nicest people online. You've heard that from me before, but it is so true. I have built wonderful relationships online, and my guests and I are, we're meeting for the second time. Here we are. So we're following one another, and this is so great. So the other thing is we did meet online, and we also were part of a project called the Encantadora experience with Maya Comerota, because we had a the same business mentor. So without any, well, wait a minute, let me tell you, my guest is a transformational spiritual creative coach. All right. But she's also a filmmaker. She's also an actress. She's also a writer. She's also an artist. She's a producer. She's a director. I don't know what she doesn't do. Let's bring her on. Here is Andrea Sadler. Hi, Andrea. How are you?
Thank you. Nice introduction. Thank you.
I know, I know. So you are here when you were here about 6 months ago, and we talked about a lot of things that were going to happen in the future, and they have happened. And so I wanted you to come back and share all that with us. So, first of all, you say that you're a transformational spiritual creative coach. What do you think your purpose on earth is? I mean, it's much more than a coach. What can you kind of let us in on that little secret? Your
Yes,
passion.
I'd be happy to let you in on that secret because it's no secret anymore.
Okay.
But I came here to raise consciousness, to raise my own consciousness, but also to be an inspiration for others.
Mhm.
I have I've been on a spiritual, creative, personal growth path my whole life, and I've always asked the big questions: why are we here? What is my purpose? And how do we live on earth as spiritual beings in physical bodies? How do we balance being on earth in the material and the spiritual in a
Right.
sustainable way? And so right now I just feel so on purpose that I want to help people align with divine source, connecting to Mother Earth, centered in their hearts. And
Okay.
that's the path that I've pursued. And I can say that now I really feel I can help others on that path as well.
Okay, well, you do it in so many ways. So I know that I want to talk about your filmmaking, because you made a film quite a long time ago, but this film became really a journey for you more than anything else. I remember you telling me you had a number of dreams. How did these dreams influence you in making this particular film?
Well, I wanted to travel the world to make films wherever I go. So I ended up in Japan, and I was following my intuition because I had been on a spiritual path of developing my intuition already. So by the time I was living in Japan at age 31, I think, I was asking spirit, okay, what am I supposed to make a film about?
Right.
And I saw in the Japan Times that the Sacred Run, a native First Nation organized run, Dennis Banks is an American Indian leader. And I saw that they were coming to Japan to run for peace and environmental awareness. And I just saw the Japan Times and I was like, this is my film. It's
Wow.
everything I love all in one. And I reached out to the Japan Times to ask permission to make the film. And they said to me, well, we have to ask permission to Dennis Banks. So I, like, very naive back then, I waited and waited and waited and waited. And 10 months later, they hadn't got back to me, but I had already started beginning pre-production because I thought I have to act as if it's going to happen
Right.
to prepare. And then in the 10th month, I had a dream that I was praying to the spirit of my friend Milton, who was a golden angel soul who I loved, who
Mhm.
died sadly while he was making a film about faith. So
Okay.
in my dream, I was praying to his spirit to help me make this film.
Mhm.
And in the dream, there were three little girls, and one little girl was telling stories to the other two, and they were wrapped with attention. And I thought how wonderful it is that little girls are telling stories and not just playing video games.
Right.
And then these beanbag frogs, like they used to make in the 1970s, like we all had them in the 70s, they were
Yeah.
in my dream world, they were gifts from Milton, my friend, who, and these three beanbag frogs started coming alive. And then I started jumping with them, and I knew he heard my prayer. Then the end of the dream was I was in a village where there was a burning bush with red embers, and
Mhm.
the whole top of the tree, all the branches just fell in a semicircle in the central area of this village, a small village, like an ancient. It looked ancient actually, and everybody was like, "Oh, it's gonna catch on fire! Oh dear, what are we gonna do? Oh no, no!" And then a little boy came with a watering can, and not one drop came from the watering can, and the whole thing, all the embers turned to ash.
Wow.
And I woke up from that dream on fire. And I thought and it was 5 a.m. and it was too early to call the sacred run, but I waited till 9 a.m. I was like, did you hear from Dennis? You know, it was when you had phones back then. And and they said, I'm so sorry. We forgot to give him the message.
Oh
Oh,
no.
no. So she said, but you're in luck. He's coming to Japan next weekend, and you can go ask him in person.
Okay,
So
I want to make something clear. All this time you're still in Japan.
yes, yes, yes.
Okay.
So and I belonged to a taiko drumming troupe,
Okay.
and we had a competition that weekend that he was coming to make preparations for the sacred run. So I thought, I can't, integrity is everything in Japan. You cannot get out of a competition if you're in a taiko group. And so I said to my friend, who actually I studied in Canada in film production with,
Mhm.
we bumped into each other in Japan, not even knowing that we
Oh
were both
wow.
there. And I went to a party and there he was. Anyways, he was my assistant director. So I said, Ken, I need you to go with your friend, your girlfriend, to where Dennis is going to be, because if he says yes, then we'll be able to do some filming before the run, like, the journey of doing the run, there's preparation. So I said, you go ahead and I'll join you after my taiko competition. So I drove down and it was about 5 hour drive. And I finally got there. Well, we received so many darts. And I said, what's going on? He said, Dennis never got the message that we were coming.
Oh
And this
no.
was back in the day when we had 16mm cameras, big clunky tripods, like big cameras, rolls of film. And I said, oh no, oh no. And everybody looked at us like we had five heads. Like, what do you think you're doing here? Anyways, I finally spoke to Dennis, and I was so nervous because he's this famous American Indian leader, a very imposing 6'2", a warrior energy, and I was shaking in my boots, and I asked him permission, and he was looking down his nose at me, and the whole time, Lucy, there was a giant bumblebee flying right between us. And I'm thinking, what does this mean? What does the bumblebee mean? I don't know, but I got to keep asking him. And so I asked him if I could have permission to film. And he said, I'll think about it. I'll let you know. So, anyways, I did not get permission from him until that was Thanksgiving, Canadian Thanksgiving weekend. It was in
October.
Japan.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was in October. But then I didn't hear from him until December.
Oh, wow.
So
2 months.
good thing I had started the pre-production
Yeah.
because I had already set things in motion, but I didn't get official permission until December. And the run started June 21st of the following year.
Wow. So sacred run, could you tell us a little bit what that means? What is a sacred run and who, and tell us a little bit about Dennis Banks, because he seems to be the main protagonist here.
Yeah, Dennis Banks was a very respected American Indian leader who was in the Air Force in Japan when he was younger, and he witnessed there was protesters in Japan who were protesting the expansion of the Air Force base there,
Mhm.
and so thousands of people, including monks,
Wow.
were protesting, and the monks are the Nipponzan Myoji monks who chant for social justice and peace, and they're very active in the world. They
Right.
walk all over the world for peace and environmental awareness and justice. So he witnessed all these protesters, and he witnessed the monks that were peaceful, nonviolent, getting conked in the head and cracked open by the police. And Dennis was one of the ones. He said his captain fired into the air and said, "Stop!" And Dennis raised his rifle, and then everyone else raised their rifle because they were taught to shoot if any protesters came close. And Dennis was one of the leaders who stopped. And then all the other airmen stopped. And then Dennis became friends with these. Well, he loved the Japanese culture already because he had met people there, right? And he became friends with the monks. So in 1977, he created the Sacred Run to raise consciousness and to strengthen the culture, and also to provide the youth of Indigenous people a chance not only to strengthen their body, but to also strengthen their hearts and spirits while they're running, to carry the message that all life is sacred. So he started the run from Hiroshima, Nagasaki to the north. Wow. And it's interesting because the reason he wanted to do another one there is because he felt he needed to complete the circle. So he went from south to north, and then in 1995, when I was there, he completed the circle from the north to the south. And I think that's what my dream was about, because the whole what the Indigenous people are saying right now is we're in the time of mending the sacred hoop. And it's about the circle that includes all that is good and holy in the world is included in the circle of life. And it's time we mend the hoop.
Okay, so the hoop is the circle.
The sacred circle, yeah, or the medicine wheel. But the medicine wheel includes all life. The Indigenous people always say all my relations, meaning not just people, but trees and plants and fish and birds and animals, that earth, Mother Earth, everything is sacred in the circle of life.
Right.
And so I wanted to really, when I embarked on this project, I wanted to be, because I'm not Indigenous, I have French, Scottish, Irish background. I wanted to be a bridge for the message because it's so close to my heart. Right. And I asked for divine guidance to help me make this film. And every step of the way, Lucy, I received guidance by my intuition or by dreams, or by I hear things, because I'm very intuitive. I'm clairvoyant, clairsentient, clairaudient, claircognizant. So I just followed the signs and the feelings, and the film took me 9 years to make.
9 years.
It
Wow.
was, I don't have a business background, and it took me a long time to raise the money, because I'd be like saying to people who had money, would you like to invest in my film? And they'd say, well, what's my return on my investment? And I'd say, the future of humanity and life on the earth is your
That doesn't work.
I don't know how much money you'll make, but it's a good thing to do. It's a good thing to invest in.
Well,
And
it's really interesting because you made this film 25 years ago and it's still very appropriate today, right? I mean,
yeah, and
are
I
you not? You are in San Miguel de Allende in Mexico, and you are doing a screening for this film. And this film is about promoting peace, and you said environmental awareness, and it's so appropriate still today, if not more, than ever. So,
it's the message of the film, as I said, was guided through me. So I truly believe I made it to touch people in their hearts, because I
mhm,
didn't want it to be like blah blah blah. I wanted to move people in their hearts, touch them
right,
in their hearts. And I even though the film is older, it's no longer eligible. It's done the whole festival circuit and everything. I really feel that this film, the message of the film, is as important as it was when I made it, but especially with the war, and with the war in Ukraine right now, and this threat of this potentially bigger escalation of war. I feel we're at a crossroads, as collectively, and we are now being called by our souls to step up and live who we really are, and live in our hearts. And the Hopi prophecies also spoke of this time, and there are many prophecies that spoke of this time that we're in, that we must return to the one-hearted path.
right.
And I think that's what we're all being called to do. And at my film screening on Friday, March 11th at 7:30 p.m., I was also guided by Spirit to always offer a circle ceremony after the film. We do a Q&A after the film. And then after the Q&A, we invite the audience to stand in a circle. And I always invite a local Indigenous person, no matter where I am. And in this case, I have a young man from Chiapas who is a traditional healer, and he leads Temazcal ceremonies. And his partner is a yoga instructor, and they have a retreat center. So I like that I have the balance of the masculine and the feminine. They're a couple.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
we're going to have a circle ceremony where everyone can participate in their sharing their hearts and prayers and gratitude.
And this is going, excuse me, it's going to take place on March the 11th, you say?
Yeah, Friday, March 11th at 7:30 p.m. at the Teatro Santa Ana Theater at the Biblioteca Pública in
Yeah.
the center of San Miguel de Allende. It's
San
so
Miguel de Allende is such a beautiful place. Now, why San Miguel de Allende?
well, it just so happened that I turned 60 on February 7th.
Okay.
And I promised myself, I have not been traveling. I'm a gypsy in my soul, but I haven't traveled in a long time.
Right.
And I
Because of
promised,
COVID also.
yeah, but even before that, since I got married, we never
Okay.
traveled anywhere. But I promised myself when I turned 60, I would have a traveling birthday adventure.
Good for
And I
you.
have a friend who's actually was a runner. She was on the Sacred Run with me.
Okay.
I hadn't seen her in 25 years, and she lives here. And she said I could stay with her. And I really, it gave me the opportunity to come here for a 7-week period.
Oh,
And
nice.
she'll also be there at the screening in the Q&A and to answer questions as well. So
Oh, wow.
that's how it happened. It was San Miguel. Plus, I've always wanted to come here, and my father always wanted to come here.
So
So
here you are celebrating your 60th birthday in the very fashion that you wanted to. And
yes,
what better way? Now you consider this your silver year because you finished the film 25 years ago. Have you edited in any sense? And what happened to Dennis Banks? Is he still alive or?
then
Oh, I think you froze on us. Okay, well, my guess hopefully will come back. I hope it's not my internet.
there we
And
go.
it
Yeah.
happens You froze
Okay.
a little. You froze a little bit on us, and that could be
Yeah.
the internet in Mexico
Yeah.
happens all
Yeah.
the time.
So the
So
last time I saw Dennis, I actually was in a sweat lodge with him probably about a year before he died.
okay,
And Dennis was like a grandfather figure to me. He really he was a warrior, and I'm a very emotional person. I cry easily, and he really taught me to be strong. And but he also, in the end, he really loved me, and I really love him. And I sat in a sweat lodge with him the year before he died. And then a year after he died, I found myself at the Peace Pagoda in Troy, New York, with
wow.
his son at the same place Dennis was sitting
Oh my
next
God,
to me in another sweat lodge.
you just were
So,
meant to be. Yeah,
yeah,
the,
I feel
the
very
bridge between
connected
the
to Dennis.
indigenous people and other tribes, so to speak. Oh my God. So you do it's interesting. So are you going to be leaving San Miguel de Allende after your screening? Or are you going to spend some more time there and just relax and heal thyself, so to speak?
Well, I'm actually going to be staying in a permaculture. I'm doing a house sit on a permaculture land for 2 weeks from the 17th to the 27th. But I'm also really busy because I'm launching my 9 week Sister Circle program. So that's coming up March. It's actually starting the day after my film screening, and the Sister Circle program is called Activate, Align, Ascend.
Well,
Now, I began leading women's circles 3 years ago on a monthly basis. And each month I would have a sister circle. It used to be in person, but then we moved to Zoom. And now that we're on Zoom, I love meeting people from all over the world. So I might have special circles in person, but I'll always be doing them on Zoom now. And so this monthly circle is usually a theme. Like, for example, next month is forgive. How do
okay,
we forgive people that have wounded us? How do we forgive ourselves? So it'll be all about that theme, but we do all different themes. But my own program, that's connected to sistershipcircle.com. They're a collective of women that lead circles,
okay,
and we support each other on this journey as well. And we help each other, you know, with ideas, and it's a collective.
right,
But I'm branching out because one of the things that I've learned in the last year, I've been on a journey of self love because, and and not in a narcissistic way, but in a way of really loving and accepting myself.
yeah.
Because when I made the sacred run, so many people made fun of me, and they're like, "Who do you think you are?" And like women stabbed me in the back, and I
Oh,
I thought that it was too scary to do something out of the ordinary,
mm-hmm.
that I thought there's so many mean people, I'm afraid to do anything extraordinary anymore.
Yeah,
So I kind of dimmed my light. I played small. And then I kept often had, like, when I'd have a success, like I got a lead role in a play, and I'd suddenly be attacked by a girlfriend. So I started leading women's circles, and I've healed my sister wound. And I feel like I've healed all my chakra centers, and I feel so aligned. So I'm ready to launch this 9 week Sister Circle program. And we're going to go through each week, we're going to go through the different chakras to heal, clear, activate, and align with divine source, Mother Earth, in our hearts. And I want to take them on a transformational journey in the sacred container, the sacred circle of sisterhood. And we don't offer advice. We just hold space. We beam each other. We use Reiki to acknowledge that we see, hear, and value each sister.
okay,
And we do writing, meditation, art, burning things. We do all kinds of different things on Zoom that you'd be surprised. I lead a shamanic journey, create visualization journeys, meditation. We dance, we share. And then the difference about my monthly sister circles and the 9 week sister circle program is I'm going to be giving a bonus of half 30 minutes to an hour of coaching, because I'm a coach now, transformational coach. And so it'll be more like instead of me just holding space, I'll also be offering actual coaching for issues that people need help with.
Right.
And I'm offering that starting March 12th. And if people want to sign up, I should say, is that it's normally going to be $555 US, but until March 6th, I'm giving an early bird discount of $100 off. So it's
Well,
$444. And if you bring a friend, it's only $333 each.
okay.
And I'm offering two scholarships, a 50% scholarship off and a 100% scholarship off, because when I was feeling like actually suicidal when I was making the film, because I thought
Mhm.
no one understood what I was doing, and I needed to take a program, but I couldn't afford it.
Right.
I had no money. So my motto with my women's circle and my women's collective is no sister left behind. And I have a Facebook group that just started in December called Dragonfly Sistership, Transformational Circles, Retreats, and Coaching. And in that Facebook group, I invite women to, I want to draw heart-centered women, right?
Right.
And who support each other. Enough of the competition and comparing, and that's over. That's old
Right.
paradigm.
Right. Right.
So
Mhm.
the women that come are very heart-centered, and I offer Tuesday free tarot and oracle reading. And then I offer meditation, mini classes for free, movement, all kinds of things for free to draw people in. And then also, that's where I announce upcoming circles. Like I have a monthly circle coming up March 18th, and the Sister Circle program starting March 12th. So if you want to get
You
on
are
board,
a busy lady. Unbelievable. So, well, okay. I don't want you to get overwhelmed, audience. We will have all of this information in a comment below so that you will know. Actually, we'll send you to Andrea's Facebook group. I think it's in our. You can contact Andrea by email. It says a dragonfly Sadler at gmail.com, and her Facebook group is facebook.com/board a dragonfly Sadler. Now I want to
that's
ask.
that's my personal Facebook page, but they can see my Dragonfly Sistership. I'll give you the link to the Dragonfly Sistership
And
Facebook
we'll
group
put it
as
in
well.
the comments because that's an awful lot of information for everybody. Now tell me, Andrea, why a dragonfly? I know it has some significance, special
Yeah,
significance for sure. Could
it
you
has.
talk a little bit about that to us?
I'd be happy to share with that, because before I made the sacred run, I was living in Japan, and I lived on a mountain, and I was really communing with nature.
Mm-hmm.
And I would go to the forest, and I'd like sit in a hole and I'd watch the bamboo grow, and I'd commune with the praying mantises. And during that time, a dragonfly landed on my third eye,
Oh, wow.
and it stayed there for about 30 minutes, which was very unusual.
30
It had
minutes,
never
not
happened
30
to me
seconds,
before.
30 minutes.
30 minutes.
Wow.
And dragonfly is the national insect of Japan.
Okay, I didn't
So
know that.
shortly after that, I went to an Ainu festival. They're the indigenous people of Japan. And I sing and I play guitar, and I was performing on the stage, and I was singing a Joni Mitchell song at this festival. And, caught a dragonfly inside the jar. And there was like all these dragonflies. Well, I say they were singing around the microphone with me, but they were flying around the microphone with me. And right when I sang the line, caught a dragonfly inside the jar, there was a giant dragonfly that looked like the size of the bumblebee that I saw with
Yeah.
Dennis. And it landed on my microphone, and it looked at me. And I was like, hello. And then the next morning at this very sacred Ainu festival, I was laying on the ground, and another dragonfly landed on my third eye, and I felt an energy transference. Like I felt like I was being zapped. It was very unusual physical experience. And I was like, okay, this is dragonflies telling me something.
Right.
So I looked up in the animal totem book, what is the message of dragonfly, the medicine? And
It's
the
very
medicine of
spiritual, isn't it?
dragonfly is transformation,
Oh,
seeing beyond the illusion,
wonderful.
living between the water and the air. And it's also movement, color, and being able to move in any direction. And it's one of the most ancient insects that's ever existed. So dragonfly medicine, I adopted the name Dragonfly. So I tell people my name is Dragonfly.
Okay.
My company name became Dragonfly Films. My Dragonfly sistership, circles, retreats, and transformational coaching. Dragonfly is my medicine because my whole life, I've been, how do I live in balance on earth
Mm-hmm.
as a spiritual being in a physical body? And the dragonfly symbolizes transformation of consciousness to
Okay.
where you're seeing beyond the illusion, like the concept of Maya, right? It's funny, we met through Maya.
Yeah, exactly.
And
Exactly.
Maya is the illusion of the physical world.
Wow.
And so as a filmmaker, whatever I do, I want it to be about transformation of consciousness from the head to the heart
The
in
heart.
alignment with divine source and Mother Earth. And, for many years I was taken down and played small, but my soul is calling me to rise up, as many women are being called and men to rise up, because it's like we're in this time where we
It's
have to choose. Do you choose hate and destruction, or
wow.
love and creativity and compassion and creating a beautiful new consciousness and paradigm? Because we're leaving the old paradigm behind.
We are.
We're shifting from the Piscean age to the Aquarian age. And I'm a 7-planet aquarium, not aquarium, Aquarian.
Aquarian. Yeah, quite different.
So I'm a 7-planet Aquarian with a Pisces moon, a Sagittarius rising. And I was told by an astrologer that I came here to raise consciousness. And I'm like, yeah, that's what I'm doing here. Okay, let's do it. No more fear. No more, nobody else is going to, I feel unstoppable, because I know that when people are mean or violent, it's because they're wounded.
Yes, they are wounded. It's a call for love,
Exactly. So I have
Absolutely.
compassion now, and I understand it's not about me. It's because they're in pain.
Yeah. Let me ask you about your circle of sisterhood or
Mhm.
sister circle program. It's a program you said that's 9 weeks, and what do you expect to accomplish in the 9 weeks? I know there's healing. You mentioned Reiki. Are you a Reiki master or?
I would like to be a Reiki master, but I'm a healer, even though um, I haven't taken a course or been activated. But I know that I'm a healer because I've had like experiences where, I feel the energy, and I've held up my hands like this in situations where it was aggressive or violent,
Yeah.
and I shifted the energy by and saying Om Shanti, Om Shanti. And my grandmother was a healer, and my mom's a healer, and I have a past life in the 12th century as a healer. I'm writing a novel about that story, and I'm writing a memoir as
Okay.
well. So I'm so excited about all the projects. My memoir is called I Am Dragonfly:
I'm not surprised.
Spiritual Adventure of Courage, Compassion, Miracles, and Flight. And I've started
Beautiful.
it. And then also, I'm writing a novel about a modern day woman who she's the director of a nuclear power plant, but she's become hardened because her daughter died at a very young age. But it's her transformational process. And then she's guided back to Merioneth, Wales, where she was a 12th century healer. And it's based on my experiences in my past lives and what I've experienced in this life. So,
How
and I'm no
wonderful.
longer afraid to say that I'm a metaphysical, esoteric, spiritual healer. I used to
Absolutely.
be afraid because people made fun of me. And now it's like, no, that's who I am. That's what I bring.
And
and like,
the times are it. These are, I mean, I've experienced some wonderful, I mean, I know that you and I have a friend called Flor Marquez, and she's been
yeah,
talking about the portals, the 111 portal, and then the 222 portals, and there's been great change, and people are talking about Reiki healings and all sorts of work with chakras and whatnot. So it is really just, you know, permeating, you
yeah.
know, us there.
We're
It's
we're in a
unbelievable.
we're in a quickening right now.
Yeah.
And when I was 21, I think I said I read all the prophecies and I knew, and I was like, I'm going to be 60 when that happens. It's like, now I'm 60.
Oh, and it's happening.
And it's happening.
That's
And, I just feel that I was born for this time, and
absolutely
I went through my journey. I've had sexual abuse, I've had betrayal, I've had depression, overcoming suicide, wanting to kill myself. I've gone through so many dark night of the soul journeys, and I feel that all that I've gone through is now given me the tools to help other people. And I
absolutely
also have two coaching clients that are men, because I feel that we're in the time of balancing the divine feminine and the divine masculine,
right.
and men are very wounded right now. Women, we have each other, and
Yeah,
women are coming together.
yeah.
But the men, I'm discovering, are really hurting and they're suffering. So my goal, like the projection, is that I want to start brother and sister circles as well to heal the divine feminine, divine masculine wound
Right.
as well.
And didn't I hear you say something about a podcast that you wanted? Um,
Yeah, I
yeah,
want
I
to
mean,
do.
I'm not surprised that you're going to put that in too. Why not? I mean, you're the writer,
So
you're the filmmaker, you're the, you know.
all
Who
my
can, who can
all
keep up with you? Can your husband keep up with you?
Well, yeah, he's a master storyteller. He's got a
I
whole bunch
see.
going anyway. So, but my all my planets are in communication. In If you look at my astrology chart, all of my planets are in communication in Mercury. And so I want to have a podcast. I want to have a YouTube channel. I've started to offer, people are starting to pay me to do tarot readings, which is great. Um, and I'm also want to, I'm also in Toastmasters,
Oh,
which
wow.
is a wonderful way to overcome your fear of public speaking. Because my whole life, I've been trying to find my voice,
Hmm.
because I was so shy as a child. So I became an actress and a singer, and I overcame my fear of expressing myself on stage.
Right.
But I still had this block when I speak from my heart. I'd start crying, and then I couldn't think, and I wouldn't put, and then I'd be embarrassed because I was crying. So now with Toastmasters, I just won the international competition
Oh my
of
God.
doing my speech talking about the sacred run.
Congratulations.
And then I'm going to the next level on March 9th. I'm doing another competition for our club. Like, I'm representing our club for the international competition.
Is this
And
back in
then,
New York? This is back in New York now, right? We're
no,
talking
I'll
about,
be here March 9th. I'll still be
okay.
here. I'm here until March 30th.
Okay.
And then it's all on Zoom still.
Okay.
And then within half an hour of me winning the speech contest, I got a message from this a conference called WYN Conference.
Uh-huh.
And they said, we did a search for women who are women empowerment leaders, and we found you. And we'd like to invite you to speak at our conference in New York on July 4th. It's going to make me cry. July 14th and 15th. I'm going to.
Congratulations. Congratulations. It's all happening for you because it was all leading to where you are today. And you're in a beautiful place for it to be all happening. So spread those tears of joy for sure, because I
And
know
I
that's what
want to help. Like, there's so many women who have so much inside of them,
you're
but they lack courage, or they lack confidence, or they're stuck.
right.
And all my training as an actress, my spiritual studies, my yoga, my writing, my art, everything I've done has prepared me to be in this position to
Absolutely.
help women and men to mend the sacred hoop. And
Amen.
that's what we're doing right now.
The sacred hoop. I love it. Oh my God. So I hate to ask you this next question. What's next for you? Because there's so much happening that Well, you already said there's a book that you're thinking that's going to be next for you that
Well,
you're
there's
writing.
another thing that I didn't mention.
Oh, I'm not surprised.
The other thing that when the pandemic hit, my husband and I lost all our income.
Mhm.
So I said, okay, we got to figure this out, how to earn money, and I'm going to level up and learn business because I've always just lived on a wing and a prayer.
Right.
And I've never earned a lot of money, but now I've healed my self-worth. And so I have a lot of dreams, but another big dream is to lead retreats. So
Uh-huh.
I signed up for a course, how to create, market, and run retreats.
Right.
And so right now I'm a little bit like, how do you do that? So right now I have an accountability partner and she's leading a retreat in Scotland, Iona, Scotland.
Oh, how
And
wonderful.
she has I think there's only 10 spots. And the theme is cutting the binds, cutting the ties that bind.
Hmm.
And when she sells all the spots, she'll be able to afford to pay me to fly there, and I'm going to be her chef because I've also been a personal chef. I love to cook, and I'll be like her chef, and I'll be her assistant and take video photography and just help her.
Yeah.
And then she and I want to create more retreats together. And
Wonderful.
while I'm there, I'm hoping that I don't know how this is going to happen, but I'm praying, Great Spirit, I'm praying that I'm going to Iona because if I can go there, then I want to go to Wales to do the final piece of research for my novel, Marioneth, which has been in the works for, oh my God, like 20, over maybe 20 years I've been working on this book.
Mhm.
Like I'm just got to do this final piece of research.
Right.
So that's it. I'm writing a novel, I'm writing my memoir, and I'm, wanting to earn enough money serving others so I can take like a month off and write my book and,
Absolutely. Right. Right. So it sounds like it's all going to be happening because you've got so many, you know, what they call it, things in the fire. They call it
irons in the
irons
fire.
on the fire. So it sounds, but you're being divinely guided also.
Yes.
I have this great feeling. So
I just got to share, the synchronicities are mind blowing. The
they
other
are.
day, I did a Facebook Live in the golf course, and I said to my women's collective, okay, we're going to talk about the root chakra. Let's just go for a walk in nature and see what happens, right?
Yeah.
So I found a tree and whatever. I talked about the root chakra. And after my talk, like right when I finished saying everything I had to say, the man in the golf cart came. He says, oh, you have to leave. And I said, oh, okay. And what's your name? He said his name was Angel Michel, which
Oh no.
means Angel Michael.
Right.
And
Right.
I work with Archangel Michael.
Uh-huh.
And then he said, do you want to go for a ride in my golf cart around the golf course? I was like, yeah. And then we saw 3 herons and it was so beautiful and he was so sweet. And that to me, when you're in alignment,
Yeah.
life
Things
is
happen like that.
magical and
Things happen like that.
your heart flows and then you attract good things and you
Right.
lift other people up.
I want to ask you one question before we end this interview. What message would you have for women? What I do, I help single women over 60 to start a business and who wants to start a business online, don't know where to start or whom to trust. What message would you have for those women who are in so need to increment their income because the statistics of people at age 65 are 91% are either dead broke or they're dead, you know?
Right. Unfortunately, that's not funny, but
No,
no,
it's
I
not.
mean, that's,
Yeah. Yeah.
well, for myself, like, I don't own a house. My husband and I went bankrupt in
Hmm.
March, like a year ago, we went bankrupt. But and my husband was so stressed out with being the main breadwinner,
Right.
and he's getting older and he's not a marketer. And I
Hmm.
said, honey, I'm going to level up. I'm going to take all these courses. And I felt like I was buying all these bricks, oh, I need to learn how to do
Yeah.
Instagram. I
Yeah.
need to learn how to make a website. there are so many opportunities online now to learn business and how to marketing.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And like you're a business coach. I hope one day I can be help women with the money aspect, but for me it starts with healing the self-worth. And the lower three chakras are all related to your self-worth
That's
and your will and your confidence. And you see, my
image.
whole childhood, I was connected to spiritual, but I had to heal the lower three chakras. So once you align your chakras and you say to the universe, like, please guide me to the right person, you're
Mhm.
going to see things are going to start coming into your world, into your orbit, because you're attracting it.
Right.
And if you think you're too old, don't think that, because I'm a late bloomer. And the astrologer, when I was 30, she said, you're not going to have financial success until you're in your 60s. And I'm like, what? That's a lot. And now I'm turning 60 and I'm finally, like, all my life, I've had stupid side jobs to support my
Mhm.
creative pursuits. But those stupid side jobs took me away from doing my creativity
Right.
and kept me small. But now I'm on fire. I just feel so committed to helping people, and I feel I have the tools. So whatever you have that's your
Absolutely.
soul is calling you to share, the world needs your medicine.
Thank
So
you. It's a beautiful message. Beautiful message. Absolutely. Because we're all very unique. We all have a special knowledge within us or an expertise within us that can just help other people,
yeah,
or
and now
help
with
other
the
people's
internet,
lives.
if
Absolutely.
you have a computer and an
Yeah.
internet, you can create a business from the comfort of your home. Or like me, here I am in Mexico I'm doing coaching online, so I get earn income while I'm here. I mean, who
Ex-
would have ever thought?
Absolutely. Absolutely. The world is different today. And,
Yeah.
COVID, that was a good thing about COVID. It made people kind of pivot, what can I do with what I have? And here I have this computer, and the world is global. And so, it's just a matter of going within and seeing, I'm unique. What can I offer? And how can I help? And how can I serve?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
We're all born for a reason. And
absolutely.
whatever your, superpowers are, or
Yeah,
knowledge, expertise, and what your soul wants to share, that's what you're meant to share. And the world
exactly.
needs what you have to share.
While you
And
can monetize your wisdom at the same time, because
yes, I never thought people would pay for spiritual wisdom, because that's what I focused on. And then when I went to Maya Komorota's, Born for This Live and X
Mhm.
Factor, I saw what she was doing. I was thinking, wow, she's earning money teaching the things that I've known for years, and I
Absolutely.
didn't know you could get paid for that.
Absolutely.
And I've watched women transform in my sister circles, and I'm watching these men transform in just like 6 weeks of coaching.
Absolutely. If you know what you're doing, if you have the tools to help, and you have that passion within you to serve, then there's
Yeah.
nothing but success to come your way. So, Andrea, I really want to thank you. Again, I want to say that if you want to contact Andrea, in the comments below after we finish this interview, I will have all of the ways that you can contact her website, her email, and even the Dragonfly films. All the information about her film. So, do you have any last words? Is there something that we didn't cover that you would like to say now, because this is your
Yeah,
opportunity?
I just want to say, if you're a woman, and if you're a woman that wants to connect with other amazing women, join my Dragonfly Sistership Facebook group, which will include. And just remember that we all we're it's a time when we have to shine our light.
Right.
And just like when I was in the dark night of the soul, people like Marianne Williamson held a light for me. People
Exactly.
like Wayne Dyer, Deepak Chopra, all these people that wrote books. When I was in the dark, they helped me. And now I want to write the books and do these things to help others. So we're always shining a light, being like a beacon because we're in dark times, but good things are coming, and we have to be the change we wish to see in the world.
Exactly.
So it's time to rise up together.
Great last words. Thank you so very much, Andrea. I know. Have a wonderful time the rest of the time in San Miguel de Allende. Good luck on March the 11th with the the showing of your film and everything else that's going on for you. You had another word to say for sure.
I just want to say, if you can't come to the film screening, on my website, you can rent or buy my film on Vimeo. So it's like $5 to rent my film, or $15 to buy it, and you can watch it as many times as you want.
I'm just thinking, I was a teacher for 35 plus years. That's a wonderful film for teachers to take into the school and to because it's such a sacred thing to be teaching today.
Yeah, I actually have brought it to schools, and I invite the students to stand in a circle, and children as young as 4 say to me, "I'm happy that people like Andrea exist.
Oh,
Thank you. I feel
wonderful.
so much better. I like this. I want to do more of this." Because children know the power of the circle and love.
They certainly feel it for sure. Thank you very much, Andrea, for your time, and good luck with everything. And do keep in touch, and I will certainly keep in touch with you. And for my audience, thank you very much for being here, and join us again next Thursday for another awesome guest. Bye for now.
Thank you so much, Lucy.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Love you.
Everyone.